It's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Indianapolis Colts and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Bringing it out of his end zone, Isaiah Rodgers. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Now the NFL's leading rusher in 2021, Jonathan Taylor.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, this defense for the Jaguars, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And I don't know what the actual percentages are, and I don't know the analytics when you create 5 turnovers or takeaways in a game. But coaches always say, when you create a number that high, your chances of winning probably up over 98%. I haven't seen that number quantified, but I believe them.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Ryan to throw. Finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
The Colts have liked big Mo Alley-Cox more and more over his 4 seasons with the team. Initially known just for his blocking, he's developing into a nice target as a tight end, and there he picks up a first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Ryan. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. He rifles one that's intercepted. 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
Well, they were advancing the ball. They had a couple first downs under their belt, but a big mistake there on the opening drive leads to 6 points the other direction.
And what a good read that was on his part, Brandon, because it prevents a possible scoring drive with how they were moving things along. And it gives the defense the early advantage. Was going to be a definitely entertaining battle between these units.
On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice, but at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Play action. Ryan steps away. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Up the middle, here's Taylor.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Trayvon Walker makes the tackle. These two teams, division rivals, of course, and you remember back to Week 18 last year, although Colts fans don't want to remember back to Week 18 last year. The Colts needed a win, and the Jags, they were kind of looking ahead to 2022, but the two-win Jags came up with one of the shockers of the season. They stunned the Colts 26-11 in Jacksonville, and that loss ultimately kept Indianapolis home for the playoffs.
Ryan. Going up top.
He rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick.
And the Jags force the turnover. They'll take over at the 10. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up, 1st and 10.
From back at their own 10-yard line. They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brandon, that's what you call being manhandled at the point of attack. And I know the offensive line gets a lot of blame for that one. But occasionally, the defense just knows what you're going to do. Maybe they scouted it perfectly. Maybe someone tipped it off. But on that play, it had no chance.
On 2nd and 11 now. Lawrence. This ball tipped, and it's going to be incomplete. Fortunate maybe to get that back. It's 3rd down.
So much of this game is about leverage. We always talk about low man wins in the trenches. Well, it's like that in just about every position. And sometimes, if you lose that leverage and you're losing the battle, just jump up at the line of scrimmage and try and bat the ball away. And that's exactly what happened there.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And now we're going to get a delay of game, and that's going to back them up halfway.
So a little tardy getting everyone set, and the clock hits 0 before they could snap it.
Yeah, you can take your time and use the clock and try and get set up, but once it gets near 5 seconds, that's when you often hear a quarterback yelling, hurry, hurry, to make sure everybody's ready to get the snap off.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Hey, exit.
Now Lawrence to throw.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
There's a lot about that play you could easily see coming. Backed up in the shadow of their own goal line, you know they're going to face pressure.
He's lucky his arm was going forward. It was close, but it was going forward.
Yeah, it could have been a safety or even given up a defensive touchdown.
Pulled in at the 24. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead, Taylor. And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. Ryan. He's got a man. Complete. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Michael Pittman, his first touchdown of the new season.
And the Colts are an extra point away from evening this one up.
Chase McLaughlin on for the extra point. It's up and good. So these teams match touchdowns here in the 1st quarter, and we're tied 7-7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Taking it about the 1.
Jamal Agnew now to return it.
And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Throwing on 2nd and long.
Lawrence. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
And this drive is almost over before it began thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Now Lawrence. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Isaiah Rodgers.
CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Touchdown, Colts. Matt Ryan, his 2nd touchdown pass of this opening quarter.
And the Colts have moved out in front. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Sanchez now, he'll kick it away following the touchdown. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It's been an awfully slow start for them. This is their 3rd possession. They don't have a first down yet.
So that means they have to change up what they're doing, and for some teams, it's a change in tempo, usually moving it to more up-tempo type of an offense just to try and change their fortunes right now. What they've been doing so far isn't working. Maybe they'll do that. Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
On play action, Lawrence. That's caught. It's Dan Arnold, the tight end. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. So finally completes his first pass. Credit the defense, though. They've been showing him some different looks, keeping him off balance.
Yeah, I like it. I like the observation that you had there because when you give him different looks and give any quarterback different looks, it takes just a little bit longer to process sometimes, and you don't throw the ball with the same confidence. You're not sure that that's where you should go with the football, and that's worked for the defense early in this game, and now he's got his first completion. Let's see if his confidence comes back, and he starts to get into a nice little groove.
Lawrence on 3rd down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Julian Blackmon. And the Colts are going to take possession of the football. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now again to Taylor. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You can go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Ryan. And his throw is incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series before you get out there. Hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. Ryan. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. Chase McLaughlin now for the field goal try. On the left hash, officially it's called a 51-yard attempt. And this one is right down the middle. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense. Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
The interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Tackle made by Zaire Franklin. The Jaguars at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they were able to get that road victory in the opener. Now they look to get to 2-0 in front of the home crowd.
And look, any road win in the NFL, that's huge. But when you do it Week 1, that gets you pointed in the right direction and sends notice to the rest of the league that you mean business.
It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they're bringing your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players, and glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well. And he's been right.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Again, it's Taylor. They find some open field here. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. 47 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Steps away to his left. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
They go play action with Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Back-to-back incompletions of what was once a nice drive, stalled out here. I'm going to give credit to the secondary partner. Never gave up as they gave up a few yards, and they came through on that play to deny that pass and force the fourth down.
So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time, hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Straight ahead, Etienne. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue in on the stop.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
On second down, Etienne once more. And this will be a Jaguars first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Leo! Working, Bill! Hey, orbit! Hey, Echo!
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Etienne bringing in another one. Now a timeout signal for him. They'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
Well, he was a busy man out of the backfield a week ago. They got him the ball early and often. I have no doubt in my mind that he'll be a big part of the game plan here as well.
They'll throw on first down with Lawrence. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be marked down right at the 20-yard line. And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This will be a 37-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good, and that will do it for this first half. So we come to halftime here with the visiting Colts taking the lead to the locker room. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Lawrence. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Lawrence will throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now. Here's Lawrence to throw. Being chased out left. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Jaguars. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown score or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Jags grab it. And he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. So how about this for a turn of events? They cut the lead with a touchdown, and then on the ensuing kickoff, get the football right back.
And what a swing in a short amount of time because the momentum was totally against them. Now it's all in their favor. They've got a chance to go into the lead if they get the ball to the end zone.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. And he stopped immediately there. Defense doing their job, really nowhere to run the football.
Yeah, it's almost textbook, wasn't it? Every place he tried to find an open spot, there just wasn't one. Congrats to the defense, no gain.
Call fitting your gaps, right?
I love it. You're exactly right.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. And they'll go again with Etienne. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime, Minks, had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
They had great starting position to begin the drive, but now they look up at a 3rd and 5.
Yeah. Five.
Lawrence. And it's caught. And they will touch him down, but not before he gets the first. An effective 7-yard 3rd down conversion.
Well, they certainly had success throughout this contest, getting him the ball in the passing game, and there he picks up another 1st down. Whatever they saw going into this one, they've been able to capitalize on it, and no adjustment has been made to take it away.
Hey.
Ingram is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Good work there, holding them out on 1st down, and this is going to be a battle down here on the goal line. Can they hold their ground for 2, maybe even 3 more plays?
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Recon, look at you fire. Look at me, get power. Hey, two. Hey, Delta. Fire.
Ingram again. Pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter. Well, they held him out on 2nd down, and now here's 3rd and goal.
Hey, exit.
They'll look to run with Ingram. And this time he is in. Mark Ingram, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Jaguars have scored again in this 3rd quarter, this time to move out in front. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Last time out, you remember their drive stalled, but thanks to their kicker, booted a long field goal to at least get him 3. Now here they'll try to do better and find the end zone.
And in our...
He's got a man, complete. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So another incompletion there. He's hitting on fewer than half his pass attempts in this one, and that is not a winning formula.
Yeah, so let's make sure we give a little bit of credit to the defense here. They've given him a lot to think about, a lot of different looks, and he seems a little bit confused trying to complete passes.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And oh, he's just going to be short here. Barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. They turn to Taylor on 4th. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds right at the 3. It's 1st and goal after they rip off a solid chunk of yardage in the ground game on a risky 4th down call. They only needed about 4 or 5 inches there, relied on the big guys up front, and got it done.
Yeah, this is the time to just go ahead and hit it straight ahead. No juking, right? No movement in the backfield. Take the ball and go. As I heard a coach tell a player a long time ago, save your dancing for the club, son. Just get up into that line of scrimmage.
They've been in the red zone 3 times in this game and have not scored a single point. Can they break through here on 2nd and goal? They go play action now. Ryan to the end zone, but it's incomplete.
That's a pretty play there. Got in at the last second, helped force the ball free, and kept them out of the end zone.
He was looking for Michael Pittman that time, but now it's 3rd and goal. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. On 3rd and goal, Ryan. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. So with a 4th and goal looming, we hit the end of 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming from the left hash. A chip shot here. And his kick here is good. And that'll bring him back within a point. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
On the double.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Hey, Haywood!
Now Lawrence. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
The Jaguars on third down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9.
Hey, Wahoo! Go! Hey, 7. Hurry!
Looking to throw, Lawrence.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Jaguars.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Now, hang on here a second. Looks like a Jaguar in some obvious discomfort from that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
There's still plenty of time here in the fourth quarter. Just a one-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and two-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
But the passing game right now for them, not overly impressive. Last week he hit on right at 50%. This week he's under 50%.
And it's not just on him. Protection, a few breakdowns along the way. That's made him get off the spot. Receivers not getting their way open downfield. The coverage has been awfully tight. They've got to all get together and find ways to make this passing game get in gear.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
74 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Here we go. It's Ryan on fourth down. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a fourth down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
That's caught at the 25. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Give him 32 on the play.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Here's Ryan to throw.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And now off to the races down the right side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick 6. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick 6.
Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Rodgers going to return it from his end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. We'll see if they can band back together after the pick six. It hurt badly, but still within striking distance. A two-score game with a good chunk of time on the clock. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
From the 25 on second down, Ryan. And that's caught left side by Mo Alley-Cox. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Play action. Ryan. And this is going to fall to the ground. Incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw is Ryan. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This defense just continuing to do their thing, and now they add on to that lead with another pick six.
And how about the way they played this entire game? Not only they put their stamp on it, but every time they try and mount an offensive challenge, they find a way to thwart it. And multiple pick sixes, oh yeah, they'll enjoy watching this tape after the game.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return from his end zone, Rodgers. And they will wrangle it down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really, really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dive. Ryan. And he'll find Pittman. There he goes left side. Touchdown. Michael Pittman. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down. Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the fourth quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, in such a high-stakes scenario, everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Kenny Moore. And the Colts are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either, throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no. But the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
On first down, Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete. Oh, he looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Play action. It's Ryan. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Well, that sack backs Ryan the Colts up a bit here, facing a 3rd and long. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This is getting close to a no-win situation now. They've got one final shot. They're on their end of the field, and it's 4th and long. This might require a little extra razzle-dazzle to get it done.
Fourth down. Here's Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Colts going to use the first of their, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. His throw incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
On 2nd and 10, Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely 4-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Here comes the 7th play now in this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Ryan. Finding Pittman, and they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're...
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough, but man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Christian Kirk, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Jaguars are on their way to a 2-0 start. McManus's point after is good, and that pushes the lead up to 23. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time.